Hello, this is FRAZELMA LYNN, the Parenting 911 coach, and welcome to Doing Lunch with Parenting 911. I hope that you have your lunch and that you are ready to talk parenting. So, today we are going to talk about monitoring our children. Are we monitoring our children? Now, monitoring and supervision, they kind of go hand in hand. However, monitoring, is just checking in on children, just checking in randomly, making sure everything is all right, checking book bags to be sure that, the right thing is in there, or they haven't forgotten to give you papers that need to be signed. Monitoring, just kind of check in here and there once in a while, even in their bedrooms, checking in to see if there's something different in there, something strange in there, something in there they shouldn't have, or that you have not approved. So just checking in, checking on social media, checking to see what their history is like, making sure that you have the parent controls enabled, and then checking to make sure your teenager has not disabled them. But we have to monitor. Now, supervision is different because supervision is closely watching and then instructing them, helping them make whatever changes need to be made. Supervision is more intense, but the monitoring is just really checking in here or there, to make sure things are okay. Now, I say that, and truthfully, many parents have an issue with monitoring. They have an issue with checking in on their children. Some of them feel like, children have to have their privacy. And so, if I'm checking in on them, then I'm causing them not to have privacy. Now, understand, yes, children need their privacy. They need privacy when they're dressing, when they're in the restroom, when they're bathing, things like that. They need privacy. But parents, we have to realize that it is our responsibility to monitor them, to check on them. So if you happen to check, especially if they have, let's just say, social media, and you have allowed them to be on social media, and you decide to check to see what's going on, what's being posted on social media, either by them or by their friends. And you see that there is some bullying going on. Maybe your child is the one being bullied, or maybe your child is the one doing the bullying. Either way, you need to be made aware, not just so you can know it, but so you can do something about it. Some children who are bullied, they're not going to come to you and tell you. So if you don't monitor, you won't know. You will have noticed some things, but you won't know what the root of the problem is. So we need to monitor. Think about the children who have taken weapons to school, whether it be knives or guns. Um, some of that could have been hindered if parents were monitoring, checking the room, walking around in the bedroom looking. Uh, Even children hiding drugs. If it's marijuana, there's a smell. So we are responsible for checking our children. If they know that we are never going to check on what they are doing, or come in their rooms, or check their phones, or their devices, or whatever their lives are filled with, then we are saying to them, you have full reign to do anything you want. Well, that should not be, because they are under our guide as parents. So I'm just encouraging all parents, please check, monitor your children. Young children need to be monitored as well. I know that some parents don't feel that they should go through their book bags, but once in a while, parents, you do. I tell parents who work with me of younger children, you need to go through their book bags on a daily basis, because they may not think that the note the teacher sent you is important, or they may not even remember that, the next day is a day they are asked to wear a certain thing, or because of a field trip, the children have to bring their lunches, or whatever the scenario may be. Those kindergartners, first graders may not even remember. But we are responsible for checking. And then as they get older, yes, we need to, maybe not check as often, but we still need to check. Our children should not be placed on a set it and forget it type of system. We are responsible for monitoring. We are responsible for asking questions. We are responsible for knowing who their friends are and who they're hanging around. And we are responsible for knowing even who they're playing games with online, because many times we will have 6 and 7 year olds playing games with adults who are using inappropriate language and saying inappropriate things for our 6 and 7 year olds to be listening to. But if we never monitor, we won't know, and then our children will be influenced by those people we don't know, and will start doing and saying things, and we will try to figure out, where did that come from? So we parents are responsible for monitoring our children. Pop in, just see what's going on. Check the history of the phone. You're the one normally who's responsible for the cell phone account. And even if they are teenagers and have their own phones, paying for it because they, work part-time, you're still responsible for checking in. Everything in the house should go through your approval. Everything. Everything in the house should be run by you first. And you have a right to monitor your children and check on what they're doing, what they're involved in, who they're hanging with, who they're talking to. You are responsible for monitoring them. So remember, we're not on a set it and forget it type of system. No, we are more on checks and balances. We make sure we check on them, and we want them to know we're going to check on them. That also helps them realize they cannot just do anything. Now, children like to come back with, but everybody else is doing it, or my friends do it like this, their parents let them do it. What goes for someone's else house won't go for your house. How you parent your children may not be anything like how your neighbor's parent or how their friends' parents will parent them. But you do what's best, what's safe for your children, your household. Please monitor your children. Know what's going on with them. Watch them. Be alert. Pay attention. Watch when their moods change. Watch when their friends all of a sudden change. Watch when they don't want to do the things they used to do or may not want to go to school anymore. We are responsible for monitoring them. Now, before I end, I do want to say this about teenagers. It is normal for teenagers to be a little more resistant, a little more negative, a little more uncooperative. Their brains are changing, their minds, how they process things are changing. They're between, as I call it, the tick and the talk. They're no more young children, and even though they want to be adults really bad, they're not there just yet. So you get a little more resistance from them. That doesn't mean that you don't monitor them. That doesn't mean you don't stop. It doesn't mean that you stop asking questions. It doesn't mean that you don't need to know who their friends are, or who they're hanging with, or who they're riding with. You still need to know. So maybe I'll end today saying we are on a need to know basis. When it involves our children, we need to know. Whatever it is that our children are a part of, participating in, whether in person or online, we parents need to know. So remember, monitor them. Just check in. Find out what's going on, who they're talking to, what they're doing on social media. Find out what's going on. We can stop a lot of things going on with our children if we monitor well, check in on them. And they'll know that we're going to check in on them, which means they'll try to follow the rules a little bit more. All right, parents, that's it for me today. Remember, check in on your children, especially your teens. Monitor. Check their phones. Check their social media. Check what's going on in their bedrooms. Pay attention. Be alert. All right, thank you for hanging out with me for lunch. I hope you finish your meal. I'm getting ready to eat mine in just a few minutes. So have a great day. Thank you for joining us this Tuesday. And we hope the rest of your day and week are great. Remember, go to www.parenting911.org and you can book a strategy session. I am also launching a new group program. It's called Home is Your Business Too. You'll find information for registering online on the website, www.parenting911.org. Have a great day.